Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel in Economist. So in the previous video we have learned about what is demand and we have also seen what are the determinants of demand. Subsequently we have understood the law of demand, right? Now in this video I want you to show how to draw the demand schedule if you are given the price and the quantity demanded data, right? So let us draw the demand schedule in the xy plane. In the x-axis you have quantity demanded and in the y-axis you have the price of that product only, so it is the own price, and you have given the following data. So let us see how to do this. So at the price level 10 the quantity demanded is 1. So at the price level 10 you have, okay, let me change the color. Okay, at the price level 10 the demand is 1. So this is one of the points that will be on the demand curve. At price level 8 the demand is 2 units, so this will be another point. Say 5 3, so here you have 5 and here you have 3, so this will be another point on the demand curve. 3 4 3 4 and you have 1 5, suppose it's here, right? Then simply what you have to do, you have to join these points using a line segment. I am drawing it freehand, so it's not that perfect. You can use a ruler for your convenience. So this is what we have as the demand curve if you are given the data about the price and quantity demanded. But the catch is that it is for a single consumer. Suppose the consumer is A. So this demand curve is also called the individual demand curve. If you are drawing the demand schedule for a particular individual, you will call this as the individual demand curve, right? Now let us go into the concept of change in quantity demanded and change in demand. What is change in quantity demanded? Suppose you are starting with the price level here P1, right? You are starting with this price level P1 and here you see the quantity demanded. If you draw this line and drop it down here, suppose the quantity demanded here is x1. Now for some reason the price falls to P2, then what happens? The quantity demanded definitely increases due to the law of demand and you reach to x2 at a higher level of demand. What you see here is that as the price level goes down from P1 to P2, the quantity demanded goes up from x1 to x2 and you move along the demand curve from point A to say point B. So as the price changes, as the own price level of the demand changes, you see a movement which is along the demand curve due to the change in the own price of good X, and that is what we call as the change in quantity demanded. So the change in demand due to the own price of the product will lead to the movement along the demand curve. You are not moving out to some other demand curve. You are just moving from this point to this particular point. So here you see a movement along the demand curve, and that is what we call as the change in quantity demanded. Now what about change in demand? It is the shift in the demand curve due to change in any of the determinant other than the own price of the good. Now if you haven't seen my previous video where I have discussed all the determinants of demand in detail, so here what we are seeing is that you are not changing the price, the own price level is not changing, but if you are changing any of these 4 determinants, so you could change the money supply or the taste and preference or the price of other good, or you might change the expectation of the future price. So if you change any of these 4 determinants, then what you see at the same price level, say I am not changing the price level, it is constant at P bar. Initially your demand was this, say it is x1. Now what happens? Suppose you are changing the money income, you are increasing your money income. What you will see at the same price level, now you have an increased level of demand, and that will be shown by a shift in the demand curve. You can't now move along the same demand curve because you are drawing this demand in the own price and the quantity demanded axis. So if you are taking M and X axis, then that will again be a movement along the demand curve, but you are not doing that. You are not changing the endogenous variable here, you are exogenously changing the money income, which will cause a shift in the demand curve in the rightward direction. So this was your initial demand curve DD, and D prime is your new demand curve, is the shifted demand curve due to change in the exogenous change in any of the determinant of demand. And this is a comparative static analysis that we often see, that we will also cover in mathematical economics. So change in demand is the shift in the demand curve due to the change in the determinant except the own price of the good X. I hope this is understood. If you have any doubt, you can post me, you can let me know in the comment section. Now, as I was saying, that there is something called the individual demand curve and the market demand curve, right? So individual demand curve is the one that we have drawn previously here. So it's for only the person A. Suppose we are only considering person A, so it is the demand curve for the person A, looks like this. Now what happens if there are many individuals? That is the case. A market consists of numerous individuals, right? So market demand will be the horizontal summation of the individual demand schedules. The change in the demand of an individual due to change in the price is called the individual demand, keeping other things as constant in ceteris paribus. But if you are taking the horizontal summation of those individual demand schedules, you will get something called the market demand curve, and that is what we are going to derive here. Let us look at this table. The price is the same as we have considered, and the demand for individual A is the same. Now we are taking into account another individual, say individual B, and we say that the market consists of only these two individuals A and B, and we are trying to find out the market demand curve. So let us first do the total aggregate output demanded or quantity demanded, which is simply XA plus XB. So 1 plus 2 3, 2 plus 3 5, 3 plus 4 7, 4 plus 5 9, and 5 plus 5 10. So you have the market demand here. So what you have to do, you simply have to draw the individual demand curves first, and then you have to aggregate it, horizontally sum it to get the market demand. Let us do that. Suppose I take some other color. So you have 10 1. This is the same thing that we have drawn earlier. So this is 10 1 is 1.82 82. Then you have something 5 3 is somewhere here. Then you have 3 4, it's here, and you have 5 1, which is here. So this is the blue line, denotes the demand curve of individual A, right? In the same way, we can draw the demand curve for individual B, 10 2. So it starts from here. Then you have 8 3, then you have 5 4, then you have 3 5, and then you have 1 5. So it stays the same, 1 5. So this is the approximate, it will come here. So the demand curve is like this. Now what you do, you aggregate it. So at the price level 10, suppose you draw this horizontal line at 10. What is your total demand? Your total demand is 3. So here you have 1, here you have 2, here you have 3. So this will be a point in the market demand curve, right? So here you have 1, here you have 2, and if you aggregate it, you have 3 here. And then here you have 5. For 8 you have 5, so it will be here. Then you have 5 7, then you have 3 9, and then you have 1 10. So if you join it by the straight line, you will have the demand curve for A and individual B, which is also the market demand curve. So this is the demand curve of individual A, this is the demand curve of individual B, and if you aggregate it in this fashion, so you can draw the horizontal lines for each of the price level and see that they are matching the aggregate level. So this is the market demand curve. That is how you formulate the market demand curve. And then we have next up is the exceptions to the law of demand. I don't want to make this video longer than this, so we will discuss it from the next lecture. As of now, thank you for staying with me till the end. And if you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel and support us by liking this video. and let's meet you in the next lecture. Thank you for your time.